Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the PurpleDon Enlightenment Hour. This episode is going to be quite a bit different from the first episode, of course, with Odd Shaped Panel's own Tom Bennis talking Spider-Man symbiotes in a sort of lesson-based episode. This is going to be a more fun sort of discussion. We're gonna have a bit of a ranking as well, with obviously, if you've clicked on this, you know what the sort of topic is, but we're going to have a bit of a ranking. We're going to have a more general sort of discussion, because this is a topic that I am very familiar with, as well as my wonderful guest for today, Screen Junkie superfan, Mr. Billy Pollihan. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Morgan. It's good to be on the Enlightenment Hour.
Yes, I'm excited to have you on. This was a topic you chose yourself, as will always happen with the Enlightenment Hour. Why Looney Tunes above all others?
Well, I took the word enlightenment quite literally, and I wanted to enlighten people. Most people only know me for being Superman fan, or obviously King Kong.
Yes.
Having previously done stuff with you in the past.
Yes.
And I wanted to enlighten people and let people know that I'm a major Looney Tunes fan. Like, I grew up with those Warner Brothers shorts as a kid.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I like that. I respect that. That's good. Widening, don't pigeonhole yourself as a Superman fan, Billy. Even though we know how much of a Superman fan you are. Looney Tunes is a fantastic topic, and one I also absolutely love. So what is it about the Looney Tunes, or the characters in Looney Tunes? I know we're going to get onto the ranking later, but what is it about them and sort of the whole Looney Tunes Merry Melodies world that sort of sticks with you in terms of, growing up or whatever?
Well, first is the intro music, which everybody should know by now, and the amazing giant orange circle with Bugs Bunny's face going through it.
Yep.
And that immediately catches your attention as a kid with the bright colors and all that. The animation style is quite amazing, just because animation is really hard.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very fast-paced animation as well. And it flows flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it was hand-drawn, even though it is. And, yeah, the characters, it's just their personalities, their individual personalities, and there's so many of them
to
choose from. So if you don't like one Looney Tunes character, that's fine. You can go to another one. And there's literally dozens of characters to choose from hundreds of shorts.
And characters that are so universally well known at this point. People may bring it back to the argument of classic Disney versus Looney Tunes and all that stuff, just to keep the Disney Warner Brothers argument alive after all these decades. And it's still going strong now, as we know, much to our disappointment. But these characters are so universally well known and revered, like I said. Bugs Bunny has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Likewise does Mickey Mouse, I expect, but don't kid yourself by thinking Looney Tunes are any less popular than those Disney creations, because they are not.
Oh yeah, and if I were given a choice whether to watch the Disney or Warner Brothers cartoons, I'm gonna choose the Warner Brothers, because I prefer those. I don't hate the Disney cartoons by any standards. I think their characters are just as amazing wonderful and unique.
Yeah.
But I mean, I grew up on the Warner Brothers, just the whole universe, really.
Yeah.
And, like the kids WB, the animated shows. Like I grew up on that as well, and yeah, I've always been a Warner Brothers supporter, obviously.
Obviously.
Very obviously. And yeah, the Looney Tunes to me are just, I think that they are the better cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you, really. I think Disney, around the time that Looney Tunes was big, I mean, Looney Tunes / Merry Melodies was at its most popular from, like, the early 40s to the, like, 60s. At which point, Disney was doing so well with feature animated films, but Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers really had the short films and the cartoons down to perfection, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask any Disney fan, then they're probably going to say the same thing. You have to twist their arm a little bit, but
yeah,
maybe the Goofy shorts are on par with some of the Looney Tunes shorts.
Yeah, I guess so.
But, like, generally, I mean, like, and then there's, of course, there's the famous ones like Steamboat Willie, which that started the entire thing, and you can't deny it.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, the Looney Tunes Warner Brothers ones, like we know the classic ones, like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, Eddie Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tasmanian Devil, Foghorn Leghorn, all these.
All of them that we're gonna get into.
So many to name, and yeah, you could. Just like Disney, you can argue that they are racial stereotypes, and some of them.
Oh, some of them definitely are. And there's no getting around that. But products of the time is really what I sort of look at that is, and I can sort of not by no means forgive it, but accept it as a product of the time. If you know what I mean. By that.
Yeah, I mean, like Goofy is technically the story behind Goofy. It's actually really racist, and how they described him. I'm not going to say it because I am not a racist.
No,
so,
no. Google that, people, if you're interested.
Just Google it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some characters in Looney Tunes where it's like I accept it, but it's still there.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't get around it.
Speedy Gonzales.
Oh, yeah.
The entire the entire Spanish mice community.
Yeah.
As I've called it.
Yeah, Slowpoke Rodriguez as well. Who is the exact opposite of Speedy Gonzales, and it's wonderful, even though it's not really that wonderful. But yes. So. A couple of main sort of people's names to think about when you're talking about Looney Tunes. You've got your Chuck Jones, Friz Freleng, Mel Blanc, Tex Avery, Mel Blanc, of course, providing the voice of nearly all of these characters that you know and love so well. Perhaps the greatest voice artist in history.
I think he is the greatest voice artist in history. Because literally he is almost the entire Looney Tunes thing. He's Bugs, Daffy, Tweety, Sylvester.
He's everyone. He's everyone.
Slowpoke Rodriguez, Foghorn Leghorn. And he did a lot of Hanna-Barbera characters as well.
Yeah.
Like, most notably Barney Rubble, Woody Woodpecker for Universal, and yeah, he did. I just learned that he provided vocal effects to the Tom and Jerry cartoons, which are also done by Chuck Jones.
Yes, I often get mistaken by thinking Tom and Jerry is Looney Tunes, and it's not. I just sort of think it is. I always used to put that in sort of the same series of cartoons, but no, Tom and Jerry's not. But I mean, I was a very Hanna-Barbera Looney Tunes child as well, like you, and this is why this episode should be a lot of fun. Billy, do you remember what your first introduction to Looney Tunes cartoons was?
I don't know, honestly. And I mean, I feel like they've been around forever. And there's a Six Flags here in Missouri,
Right.
Which is where I'm from. And obviously, they have a lot of Looney Tunes stuff there. Like many rides are mostly kids' rides, is Looney Tunes stuff. Including like the Bugs Bunny portion of it, or it's like Bugs Bunny Land. I forget. It's been a while since I've been to Six Flags.
Right.
It's funny because I worked for them for 3 years. The entire section is kids stuff, and they play the classic shorts.
Yeah.
They play the theme song a lot, and yeah, I don't know. They've always just been a part of me. I can remember it from the WB, which is now the CW. I remember that frog.
Yes.
That dancing frog from one of the most famous shorts. He was their mascot for a long, long time.
Yes.
And I had this DVD of all these Looney Tunes shorts, and it was dozens of them. And I just remember watching those all the time. Like, if I had nothing to do, because I was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old, so I didn't really have anything else to do. I would just watch cartoons. And
it's the best time.
It was mostly the Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly Looney Tunes, just because they had a wide variety of characters.
And,
Tom and Jerry is amazing. It's just those two characters, and the comedy has always been there, and I honestly, I can't remember. It might have been Space Jam, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because it came around the time when...
When was Space Jam? I want to say 96? No, it's not going to be 96,
96?
is it? 96. Movie release dates. There you go. I'm good at them.
Scott Mance would be so proud.
He would. I can only wish he would be. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Yeah, Space Jam. That's kind of a funny place to maybe be introduced to it. Anyway, because Space Jam notoriously mixed views. Some people love it. Some people really don't like it. I like it for what it is. It's weird. It's Michael Jordan's wildly overstretching arm for the big dunk at the end. It's Lola Bunny, who is a character that people really either love or hate, or is sometimes a childhood crush.
Which is very weird, because she's a rabbit.
Yeah, she's a rabbit. It's not okay.
That's bestiality, guys.
It's not okay, guys.
It's not cool. It's an animated character.
Yes. Should we get into this top 5 ranking nonsense?
For sure.
Let's do it. Your 5, my 5, your 4, my 4. Keep going like that. How about that? And I know there'll probably be some of the same. Well, almost definitely there'll be some of the same. And if in the old style of John Roker and Matt Nost's Top 10 podcast, let's save if I have a character that's higher up, or you have a character that's higher up, let's save them until we get to that higher moment. Understand, everyone? Excellent. Billy, number 5, Looney Tunes character. Go.
Okay, this is very hard because all of my characters are male, and that's very sad because the majority of the Looney Tunes characters were male.
Yeah.
Mel Blanc.
Yes, they were.
Of them, but they're the better characters. There's not really any female characters that are like memorable in the Looney Tunes mythos, aside from like Granny and that one witch. That's probably
Oh
all I can
yes.
think of out of the top of my head. But no, number 5 is going to be Marvin the Martian.
Who has a fantastic voice. Perhaps one of my favourite voices, although a character that's not on my list, not on my top 5 list. So yes, go with Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, I always thought he was a Spartan because of his helmet, and he had a very effeminate voice. Like, I thought there would be an earth-shattering kaboom. You know, that sort of thing. He doesn't have a mouth either.
He doesn't. He
And
doesn't have a nose either.
yeah, he has a dog, which is very weird because the dog's not memorable at all. But Marvin is, because he's literally just trying to blow up Earth.
Mm.
That's his entire thing. He's trying to find something to conquer. And
Yeah, poor guy. Never works out for him, does it?
I first remember seeing him in the Duck Dodgers.
Yes.
There was a Duck Dodgers animated series later, but I remember the Duck Dodgers short with him and Daffy Duck, and just, oh my god, that guy is just so entertaining. I couldn't help but look at him, and his design is very,
Oh, he's got a wonderful design.
just very green, black, and red, but mostly green. And it, when you think of Martians, you typically think of the little green men. So I
Yeah.
thought that was great.
True, but also, when you think of Martians, you don't necessarily think of someone dressed in a helmet and armour who doesn't have a face, and just has eyes peeking out of black nothingness.
Yeah, and it's it's done very well. The voices, of
Oh,
course,
yes,
are blank.
yes.
And yeah, there's just something about it that I can't quite put my finger on that really just makes me just love this guy. And you want to see him just point a laser gun at somebody and just go like, hand it over.
Yeah, it's goofy, fun entertainment. And that is essentially what all Looney Tunes / Merry Melodies are. They're just silly, light, fun, funny stuff. It's often the same sort of gags, but I've never minded that because it always just hits for me. It makes it more special. Like, I know I want to talk about one particular short later on, but it makes it more special when the gags are sort of slightly different, and they work really well. That makes it stick with me more. But yes, Marvin the Martian is a fantastic human being, not a human being, Martian. Marvin the Martian is a fantastic Martian to start us off this ranking nonsense. If we are good to move on, of course, unless you have anything else to say.
I just wanted to say the Duck Dodgers, short. It was Duck Dodgers in the 24th century, and it was directed by Chuck Jones. And Marvin the Martian actually didn't appear during the golden age of the Looney Tunes, which is around like the 40s and 60s. He only had 5 shorts, and 4 of them were with Bugs Bunny, which those are great as well. But the only one with Daffy Duck is the Duck Dodgers one, and that's the one that sticks out to my mind, and I love it.
Awesome. My number 5. Now I was contemplating whether to slightly cheat. I mean, I've slightly cheated on another choice. But I was contemplating whether or not to slightly cheat on this choice. My number 5 is Sylvester. I was gonna put Tweety in there as well as a double act, but I thought Sylvester's always been my favourite of that whole gang. Sylvester, Tweety, and even Granny. Granny herself is great. Tweety is. I know you don't like Tweety, do you?
Oh no, I absolutely hate Tweety.
I don't know how that's possible. He's so cute. and little.
Yeah, he just gets on my nerves. He's like that little kid that's like that has the big eyes and is trying to be all precious and all that sort of crap. And I'm just like, nah.
But he's just evil instead.
You make Sylvester's life hell. What is that? The cat's just hungry. I mean, come on. You can at least give him something to eat, and not you.
I mean, that's kind of why I prefer Sylvester, because these cartoons have always just been silly nonsense for me, and that's why I love them. Sylvester is just always constantly going after Tweety, using the same catchphrases. I'm not the guy that can do a good Sylvester impression. I don't know about you. You did an excellent Marvin the Martian impression.
Yeah, Marvin Martian is very fun. It's very fun to do Looney Tunes characters. They're
It is if you're good at them.
Iconic voices, to quote Hal Rudnick with iconic. But I don't know. Maybe I could try. I'm not a good Sylvester either.
No.
It's just talking like this.
There's a lot of tongue. It's probably better than I could do. There's a lot of tongue and spit involved in doing a Sylvester impression. But yeah, he always ends up with like a bird cage on his head, or something evil that Tweety's done to stop him from eating the little cute yellow bird.
Or Granny, just
or Granny. Oh, Granny off. Yeah, that's true. Umbrellas, slippers, golf clubs, rifles. Not rifles, really. I can't ever recall Sylvester actually being shot at. Although I wouldn't put it past Looney Tunes, because there's a lot of guns involved.
Yeah, there are quite a lot of guns involved. And to bring it back to Marvin Martian, I mean, he had a laser gun.
He did.
I mean, these cartoons can. Let's get this out of the way. These cartoons are very violent.
Oh, they are. They are unapologetically, if I can form words today, violent. And I kind of really love them for doing that, because they're not afraid to just beat up characters. See that as what you will, but I mean, it's harsh when Sylvester always gets beaten up for trying to eat Tweety, because Tweety's just so precious. But that's kind of why I like Sylvester. He doesn't stop. He's a very determined man. Cat, not man. Very, very determined. He knows what he wants. He will not stop at getting it, and that is why. That is why another character has turned up on my list. Anyway, but yes, Billy, you're number 4.
My number 4. It's gonna be Porky Pig.
Ooh.
And he's a pig with a
Don't even try and do a Porky Pig voice. It's so difficult. I don't know how Mel Blanc does it.
Hard to do a good Porky Pig. I don't know how Mel Blanc did it.
This is why Mel Blanc is. It's probably my favourite voice. I said Marvin the Martian, actually, didn't I? Marvin the Martian has got a great voice, but Porky Pig. It might be the most impressive. It's certainly the most impressive voice I think Mel Blanc does. Because it's so
as good as bacon.
It's so. Porky Pig might as well be bacon. He annoys me. Yeah, this is the same. You find Tweety Pie annoying. I find Porky Pig rather annoying.
I can understand that. I mean,
he's an idiot.
He's impediment, and what really, if I have to pick something about Porky that I didn't like, is that he doesn't have pants.
No, he doesn't.
Just wearing a vest. He's wearing a blue vest and a orange or a red tie.
He's wearing a tie.
Yeah,
he wears a tie, but he does not wear pants.
Yeah, it's like Donald Duck. Why doesn't he wear pants? Although I know the answer to that, and you can Google it. But I love Porky so much because of course, at the end of every Looney Tunes short, he would just go, "That's all, folks."
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I'm not even gonna try impersonating Porky because I would just make a complete and utter fool of myself. Though I probably already have.
Well, so far you have done an excellent Marvin the Martian impression and a pretty good Sylvester impression. Porky's difficult though. Porky's
very
difficult. Yeah, like I said, I never really got into Porky. He's not on my list. I mean, he's just a blumbering fool, really.
Yeah, and he's great because he's a good sidekick. Not so much for the.
Yeah, I get that.
Not so much as a lead character. I always liked him when they used him as a sidekick, just because he's that bumbling. He's like, well, to bring it back to Superman, he's Otis from Superman the movie, where he just tries to do good, and I love him for it, and I'm just like, oh, come on, Porky, and just his stutter is a big part of his character, and it leads to some great comedic moments.
Yeah. Yes. Let's try and see what was Porky Pig's debut, because he might have even been the first major one. Let's try and look this up right now. Yes, 1935 was Porky Pig's debut. In the Merry Melody cartoon, I Haven't Got a Hat, which presumably was Porky Pig looking for a hat. I don't think I've ever seen that one. But yeah, 1935, Porky Pig's debut. Wow. That is, that is one of the oldest ones.
Yeah, directed by Friz Freleng.
Yes.
He was a big part of the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies.
Huge part. Porky does actually feature in one of my favourite shorts that I'll save to talk about later because it's centered around another character. But yeah, so I mustn't hate Porky because I wouldn't love that short so much if I did. I just find it annoying sometimes.
I get it. Like I still accept that Tweety is a part of the big, like, Looney Tunes mythos. He's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to like it.
No, you don't have to like everything. Nobody has to like everything. That would be silly.
I always thought his feet were too big for his body. I was like, why are your feet so huge?
I've never thought about that before.
You're a bird. You have giant orange feet, and
he does have
like the smallest little beak as well.
Tweety does have massive feet. That is so true. Why are his feet so huge? Oh my god, you've just blown my mind. I'm not gonna lie, you have just completely blown my mind. My number 4 is my cheat pick. It's a cheat pick because it's 2 characters, but I can't. It's not possible to go with just one of them, and it's Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
You know, it's and then Wile E. Coyote doesn't have anything. He literally just holds up signs.
Yeah.
That say what he's saying.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that, and that might have been one of the earliest Chuck Jones.
Ooh, maybe.
Ones, because I think I had the first one where it was like, "This is a Roadrunner," and this is a
Roadrunner.
The Wile E. Coyote, which is the Wile Coyote, and it's a play on words.
Yeah. Wile E. Coyote. Debuted in 1949. Would you like to take a guess at what the short was called that Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner debuted in without Googling it? Without Googling it, because it's fantastic.
That would be Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious, which is... I would much prefer the Fast and Furious franchise if it was 8 feature-length Coyote and Roadrunner films.
I mean, they kind of are already.
They don't have a coyote in them.
Like, Wile E. Coyote was the Rock's character, and Vin Diesel's Dominic Toretto was the Roadrunner. He kept getting away, and the law just can't get to Dominic Toretto. I always thought they were great.
That's what they should be doing in Fast and Furious 9. Whatever they're gonna do, that put Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner in there because I'm fairly confident in saying that. Well, it's not. No, I'm not fairly confident in saying that at all. Blip of the mind. Let's move on. Not move on. I've gone insane again. I often go insane when recording these, don't I? It should be entertaining for whoever's listening. Yes, but I think I love Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner so much. I mean, my 3 above this, I really do just think are exceptional, but I really do love. Just because they're at number 4 does not mean that by any means I don't like them. Coyote and Roadrunner, I think I love so much because of my love of wacky races. Hanna-Barbera's Wacky Races with Dick Dastardly and Muttley and all that stuff. Because I always thought it was quite similar in the sense that Coyote is Dick Dastardly, always trying to win. Although it's not a race at all, he's just trying to catch the Roadrunner. But he can never get there, and he always sets these elaborate nonsense traps that always go completely wrong. So he ends up like falling to like 3,000 feet, or having a massive boulder crush on him, or blowing himself up, or various things like that. And very similar to this to what Dick Dastardly in Wacky Races would do, where he'd like crash into his own fake backgrounds that he puts up, or tripwires or stuff like that. I always thought it was very similar, which is why I always sort of liked Coyote and Roadrunner. Again, a very determined character.
Yeah,
Coyote.
well, they're both really determined. The Roadrunner is always just like, I'm just gonna
annoy you.
Simply move to the left, right over here.
Yes, I love that.
Fake backgrounds he can somehow go through, and they
Yeah.
become real. But when Wile E. Coyote tries it, he just shatters every bone in his body. And they're some of the funniest ones.
Oh, they are, absolutely.
All of Wile E. Coyote's stuff is Acme, which is
Acme. All of it.
Old Acme. And he must give them some great business. All the money he's spending for all the Acme products that
I expect
end up backfiring on him every single time throughout all these years.
I think I remember one sort of short where he actually goes to the Acme store to actually purchase things, or like take back a faulty thing. I'm sure that's from Coyote and Roadrunner. Why have I got that in my head now? It's like a big... Let me try and describe this to you. They're in this store that's full of, like, contraptions, like Wile E. Coyote contraptions. But there's, like, a line of... I can't remember whether well, they won't be, like, people. They'll just be, like, creatures. Just a line of creatures just carrying faulty Acme equipment up to the counter. And, like, Wile E. Coyote walks in and complains about the line, and with his like faulty bomb that's just blown him up. It's really funny. It's really funny. I always do. It's slapstick at its best. Is Coyote and Roadrunner, because nothing ever goes right for him, and even when it's looking like he's got the Roadrunner in a great trap, he's tied him up, he's done everything he possibly can, he's got his knife and fork out, it still goes wrong.
Just the magic of cartoons. What's even better is the signs that
he
puts up. He just puts like, uh-oh. or yikes or something. Right
Yikes is a
as
good
he's
one.
about to fall.
Yeah. Yikes.
And of course, when he falls from like a cliff, it's like, and
Little
everything
puff of
is
smoke.
just comedically over the top, and it's great. And this coyote has been through hell.
Oh,
it's great
God.
because both are generally silent characters as well.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of silent comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
like Buster Keaton and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, the only words, if you can even call them words, are Roadrunner just going meow whenever he just runs or, like you said before, steps slightly to the left to avoid whatever's coming at him, which leads Coyote to often either crash into a rock or run off a cliff. Or it's a lot of the same stuff, but it never fails to make me laugh, and that's why I love Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner as a duo for my number 4. Billy, what is your number 3?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have one without the other for Roadrunner and Coyote.
No.
And I honestly want to see a race between Roadrunner and Speedy Gonzales. Just see who. Because both are the fastest Looney Tunes characters. Even though Speedy Gonzales is obviously a terrible Mexican stereotype.
Yes.
With the sombrero and the accent and all, which I will not do with Speedy Gonzales.
No.
Because
no.
I do not want to upset, particularly my friend Raul.
No.
Because, I mean, I feel like
of course.
Very pissed off.
Let's not do any Speedy Gonzales impressions.
Or
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Even though he's hilarious. Just so sad. He's so sad. But my number 3 is going to be another stereotypical character. That's Yosemite Sam.
Oh, yes. Yosemite Sam is not on my list either. I like how we've got some variation here. Yosemite Sam is a nutter. He's insane.
Yeah, he's just a prospector. And literally, what I always found weird was that his entire face is, well, it's red, and it's like his mustache envelops his face. He doesn't really have one.
He doesn't have a face, he just has a mustache.
Yeah, although he has ears. And he has hands.
That is true.
And they're not red. He's not like the Beast, where he's made entirely of that. But
oh, yes.
He's very aggressive, and he yells at everything. And he's, of course, obsessed with gold.
He's
and
so
being
aggressive.
The arch enemy of Bugs Bunny, typically, is what it's usually the arch enemy of Bugs Bunny, and it's great.
Yeah.
Well, him and Elmer Fudd are really the enemies of Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
If you really think about it.
Yeah.
But I always found Sam more entertaining just because of his prospector type play.
Yeah.
Just how frustrated he gets whenever something goes wrong.
Oh, absolutely. He's a very, very angry individual. A very small man with a very large hat. Who, whenever things go wrong, doesn't do what some of the other Looney Tunes characters do, which is kind of look sort of ashamed at themselves and fall to, like with Coyote before, fall 3,000 feet or get beaten up or anything like that. He just goes all out insane. Starts shooting everything and jumping up and down, shouting, whatever he shouts. I don't know what he shouts. I can't do.
You
Oh dear. Yes, though, like you said, he's a particular stereotype. Is Yosemite Sam.
Stereotype, which is okay by me.
Well, it's funny for me because that's for a long time I thought all Americans were Yosemite Sam. That's not true. That's not true. I apologize.
No, not at all.
I apologize.
And I think the short where I was introduced to Sam was Bunker Hill Bunny. And
okay.
That's the one where he plays a Hessian, which is he plays Sam von Sham, and that is a Hessian was a German mercenary that worked for the British during the Revolutionary War. And Bugs Bunny, of course, was the American Minutemen.
Yeah.
And I just remember this this gag where they're just like, charge! And then Bugs Bunny goes, charge! they literally miss each other every time, and they change the flag, and they keep doing this for a couple times. And I think that's the one where Bugs Bunny says, I can't do Bugs Bunny, but it's
difficult.
Also very difficult to do. As is Daffy Duck. A lot of these characters are very hard to do. Yeah. Honestly, there are very few that I can do, like obviously Marvin the Martian, but yeah. To get back to the gag, they just kept changing the flags every single time, or when he's trying to blow up the one base and he doesn't realize all the black powder is going in his pocket. And then he lights it, and then he literally chases him, and he blows himself up. Stuff like that just makes me love it.
There's so many explosions in Looney Tunes. They're always really, really funny. I can't quite explain it, but I don't know if it's the innocent characters just laying down trails of gunpowder that obviously are going to blow themselves up without them knowing. I can't figure out whether that's the most funny part, or just when they realise what they've done and just look right at the camera and just go, It's always funny. It's always funny.
Yeah, and of course it's Frizz Freeling, or I Freeling, and he created Sam as well.
Yes.
He first appeared in Hair Trigger, hair, of course, being spelled H-A-R-E. A lot of rabbit puns as well.
Yes, so much puns.
Many puns.
Much pun, many puns. Is what we'd say. Yeah. 1945, that was, as well. So.
1945.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly it's him and Bugs Bunny that I always remember, because I think that's literally the only shorts that he is in. It's him and Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny, of course, always wins in the end because he has to.
Of course, it would be horrendous if Bugs Bunny actually ever permanently died.
We could go back to that, and probably my favorite short, but I'm gonna save that for later.
Okay. Well, my number 3, if we are willing to move on, is a character, is perhaps maybe the one character I at least think I do a half decent impression of, and that's Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, okay, that's another American stereotype. Let's hear it.
I'm absolutely not going to do it. I'm sorry. If there's enough desire for me to do a Foghorn Leghorn stereotype, get on Twitter, #PDE Hour, and tell me that I should do a Foghorn Leghorn, not stereotype, Foghorn Leghorn impression. Because I've been doing that for the last 3 days while I've been watching various Looney Tunes cartoons. Foghorn Leghorn is wonderful. He uses the term of endearment "son" a lot. He also uses.
I say, son. What are you talking about?
He also uses.
I say all the time. He is like a southern preacher. What?
He does. He says "boy" an awful lot, so much. He also has his little lady friend though. Does Foghorn Leghorn? What is her name? Oh, why?
Yeah, that was always a weird thing with me for Foghorn Leghorn. His entire thing is that he's trying to impregnate the women, because he's essentially just a rooster.
He is.
And he's like the big man on campus, and I'm thinking of the one where it's he has to babysit this chick.
Yes.
And the chick is like super smart, has like the big glasses. And,
Yes.
he's like trying to teach him how to be a man, son.
Yeah, he like teaches him how to fish.
And it always just ends up backfiring on him because the chick is too smart. And yeah, it ends up backfiring on him because he's literally trying to get into this the mom's pants, which I always thought was weird as a kid.
It is kind of weird.
Why is he doing this?
It is kind of weird, but he has a lot of entertainment value for me. Does Foghorn Leghorn? Like you said, that short in particular, I remember because he's trying to teach the little, very very smart chick how to hunt and fish and do all sorts of stuff when he's just there reading like physics books and things like that. I'm perfectly happy. Well, I say, boy, you can't be going around doing no physics there. You gotta be doing this fishing. Now, let me show you how. I say, Alf, let me show you. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. That wasn't a good impression.
It wasn't like completely terrible either.
It was racist, is what it was. It was racist.
Well, I mean, Foghorn Leghorn is inherently racist towards Southern people. I mean, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that sort of thing.
Yes. Oh, Foghorn Leghorn.
He's much better than Henry Hawk, who I hate.
Henry Hawk?
Yeah, you remember that character?
I don't. Who is Henry Hawk?
Henry Hawk was he was just this little bird that was just always sort of, he was kind of like Scrappy.
Oh, dear.
Because he always tried to be like, get in the danger, come up, all that sort of stuff. And he actually ended up what was hilarious though, was he ended up being stronger than most of everybody. And he would like pick up Foghorn Leghorn and all that stuff. And Foghorn Leghorn, he always tries to be the big, strong guy.
Yep.
And Henry Hawk is just this really little chick that ends up being stronger than all of them. And,
okay.
Yeah, but I really hated him because he just reminded me of Scrappy, and we don't need to get into why
we don't.
I absolutely think Scrappy-Doo is the worst character in all of media. Yeah, worse than Jar Jar Binks.
In all of media.
Worse
I love
than
that.
Jar Jar.
I love that. All of media. Ever. Nothing is worse. No. But yes, Foghorn Leghorn is he's the man's man. He's Foghorn Leghorn. He knows he likes to do outdoor activities. And I honestly think it's his voice that makes me love him so much, and the catchphrases he can do, and the fact that I at least think I can do a reasonably decent Foghorn Leghorn impression. That is why he's my number 3. Billy, we're getting to the big guns. What is your number 2?
This is very tough, and I'm actually gonna cheat on my number 1 answer.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot.
Okay.
Choose between the two, but my number 3 is going to.
Is this your number 3 or is this your number 2?
No, my number 2.
Your number 2.
Yeah, my number 2. Yeah, my number 3 was Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
My number 2 is going to be Taz.
Okay.
Taz Devil.
Okay, I like it. Again, not one that's on my list actually.
Yeah, and
but I
totally
do like him.
Why? Because all he does is just go.
Again, that's a fantastic impression of really. It's really you're the impressions guy here.
And he talks like this, very low voice. He's Mel Blanc, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, there was only one that was not originally done by Mel Blanc, and that is it was either gonna be Taz or Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
And I love Elmer Fudd as well.
Yeah.
Just because of mostly his voice and his incompetence.
It's fantastic. Elmer Fudd is fantastic.
He also has a speech impediment, just like Porky Pig.
He does, but it's not as irritating as Porky Pig's. But anyway, moving on from Elmer Fudd, unless we're going on to talk about Elmer Fudd later on, you were talking about Taz / the Tasmanian Devil / the little brown aggressive creature
that creates tornadoes.
Yeah, it's
great, and he's so popular that he even got his own show, Tasmania, that ran on the Kids WB for a little bit. And, of course, you would think he'd be like this Australian stereotype because the Tasmanian devil is an actual animal, and it's from Australia. But no, all he literally does is just everything is messed up, and he doesn't even really speak, but what he does is like super, super low, gravelly, and all that sort of stuff.
I don't even ever remember hearing him speak.
Yeah, in the early cartoons he would speak. I think in the first one where it was Bugs Bunny who was literally looking up. Everyone was being scared by Taz, because Taz was eating everybody. I think it was called Devil May Hair.
Oh dear, Devil May Hair. I love that.
Yeah, and all the animals are running away, and Taz is literally trying to eat Bugs Bunny. That's when we first see him, and of course, everything goes wrong. All the traps that he's setting for Bugs always backfire because Bugs just is that smart and always
one step ahead. Bugs Bunny is always one step ahead. A realization has just come to me, Billy. I wonder if Looney Tunes is the birth of your love of puns.
It may be, because a lot of their titles were pun oriented, and they would have a lot of puns in the actual short.
So many puns, so many. I think it is. I think I've hit some psychological stuff there. I think Looney Tunes is the start of Billy's love of puns.
Oh yeah, and I have perfected the art of punmanship.
Oh, you have, absolutely. The pun king, as I like to refer to you as. Always ready there with any sort of wordplay joke when anyone says anything. Always appreciated, and I think we have Looney Tunes to thank for that, which is excellent. Was you mentioned before the Taz sort of not solo series? Does that even make sense? Taz solo series?
Yeah, the Taz spin-off. He was the one character that had. No, there have been multiple Looney Tunes stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, Duck Dodgers.
Yeah.
Like there was a animated show with a whole, obviously Buck Rogers.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And it was great, and his sidekick was Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, there's loads and loads of spin-offs. It's things we can't even, if we went on for that, we'd be here for 3 hours talking about all sorts of Looney Tunes spin-offs, Looney Tunes films, and everything like that. But was the Taz solo series the one with the really awesome theme tune?
Yeah, it was "Come to Tasmania, go to Tasmania."
Yes.
And then always he would just go like.
Yes. Oh, I love that theme tune so much. I can't really remember it, but I'm fairly sure it was done in an Australian accent, but not by an Australian.
Yeah, it was very stereotypical.
Wonderful,
Australian.
wonderful.
And it was weird because, of course, Taz is really the only memorable character, but the show itself was just okay. But that theme song and that animation was wonderful.
Oh,
just like many of the kids' shows, like Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, Freakazoid, all those shows were just, they were great. Pinky and the Brain, I would
absolutely.
I did not mention Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, Pinky and the Brain again, another fantastic theme song.
Yeah, they all had amazing theme songs.
Animaniacs, wonderful theme song.
Yeah, that's where Pinky and the Brain came from.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing, amazing show. The comedy is it's a lot more adult than people remember it. And
Oh yes.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know how they got away with it. They don't know how they got away with it, but they just accept it. And yeah,
Hey, we'll take it if we can get it. We'll take it.
anyway, Taz, there's just something about this creature that causes a tornado everywhere, and something wildly entertaining about just like an animal just acting like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Really, he's the only one of the Looney Tunes that really acts like an animal. The rest of them act like humans,
Yeah.
which is very strange because none of them are humans except Granny, of course. But that's different. Just because, like, the big main characters are animals,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a rabbit, a duck, a rooster, a skunk,
Yeah.
a mouse, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I just can't. I just find Taz wildly entertaining.
I think you like the. I think you're a fan of aggressive Looney Tunes characters. Yosemite Sam, Taz.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm more of a sort of. I don't know, but that's if you'll permit me to say, that seems to have been somewhat of a trend.
Yeah, I mean the only really calm one, I guess, is so far has been Porky, because he's
Yeah.
always like the big timid one.
Yeah.
And again, he's like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just weird because they're both pigs. I guess pigs are very timid.
Well, they might be. I've never personally met a pig. Might be very timid people, not people, creatures.
Or Babe, Pig in the City.
Yep.
That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
Okay. Unless you have anything else to say.
No. Let's get to your number 2.
My number 2, Elmer Fudd. I love Elmer Fudd. I love him so much. He's so pathetic and wonderful. He is basically me if I had a speech impediment.
So he would think of himself as a disgrace.
His laugh, you've just done a perfect Elmer Fudd laugh.
Be very quiet.
Be very... Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
He's also the only character with a gun. Well, he has a double barrel shotgun.
He has a massive gun.
He never uses it though.
He's too scared to use it. He doesn't know how to use it properly. He just wants to hunt rabbits, but he doesn't actually know how to shoot a gun, I don't think. What I've always find interesting is that Elmer Fudd was, in the older ones, I believe, quite a fat man.
Yeah, he was very portly.
But then he's just sort of got thinner.
Big human character aside from Granny.
Yeah, he's a human being. Oh, I was watching. What was one yesterday? That I was watching with him in. I think he ends up taking. Oh, does he end up taking Bugs back to his own house, and then Bugs just sort of takes over Elmer Fudd's house, and he's just sort of running around, not really knowing what to do about the situation, and then he throws Bugs out, and Bugs fakes like a heart attack or pneumonia or something like that. So Elmer Fudd always cries when he thinks Bugs is dead as well. Why? He wants to kill him. Why does he always cry? It's wonderful. Yeah, a complete fool of a man, with a wonderful, wonderful voice, and yeah, I just love Elmer Fudd. He's so entertaining. He's so funny. You know, obviously, again, you've mentioned Yosemite Sam as a rival for Bugs. I think, personally, Elmer Fudd is the rival for Bugs Bunny. Just because I think I don't know. They're kind of different characters, aren't they? Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd. One's really aggressive, one's really timid. But Bugs Bunny outsmarts them both.
Yeah, and this Elmer Fudd is really like his cartoons, which is known as the Hunting Trilogy.
Ah, the trilogy.
Yeah, there's 3 shorts. It's called Rabbit Fire, Rabbit Seasoning, and Duck, Rabbit, Duck. And that is the last one is of course with Daffy Duck as well. And that's where we get the very quiet I'm hunting for rabbits sort of thing. And that's the stereotypical Looney Tunes cartoon that everybody always references to.
Yeah.
And then of course Bugs says his catchphrase, "What's up, Doc?" And I remember trying to do Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
It's not easy. It's really not easy.
Like, I know what it is. It's like, it's supposed to be a Brooklyn and Bronx accent combined, but it's a lot harder than you think.
It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, not anybody can do that. And that's why Space Jam's Bugs Bunny is nothing. Like, nobody could really compete with Mel Blanc. The man was unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Any of his voices, really, and all the creativity. He would deserve the man of 1,000 voices for a reason.
Yes. Another thing I love about Elmer Fudd is that he often sings songs. Just like...
Oh, yeah, he does.
But with the way he talks, he makes these songs just better. I don't know how he sings like old folk songs and stuff like that, like "Oh Susanna." But it's just like, "Oh Susanna, won't you cry for me?" And it's just wonderful. I don't know. I've had that stuck in my head. I've had "Oh Susanna" Elmer Fudd version stuck in my head all day.
Just gotta shake it off. Shake it off.
That's what we should have. Please, someone out there, just do every hit song from the past like 20 years, but with Elmer Fudd's voice.
Oh, I would totally.
It'd be so much better than the garbage that is produced in the music industry today.
But not Michael Jackson or Queen. Do not touch those, or I will find you.
No, don't do that. That's why I said the last 20 years.
Good.
Yes, Billy. We have reached your Mr. Big, your peak of Looney Tunes wonderfulness. Who is your number 1?
Let me just honorably mention some characters.
Yes, okay.
Who we have not mentioned, but will probably not be our number 1s. Pepe Le Pew.
Yes,
course,
the
skunk.
Hilarious French stereotype. Who?
Speedy Gonzales, who we've mentioned before. The Mexican stereotype.
The Mexican stereotype, but not hilarious Mexican stereotype. Although not
hilarious.
As a stereotype.
It's him beating up Sylvester as well. Sylvester he catches beef with everybody. Surprisingly, Sylvester is not, as much as I love him, he's not on my list. He's not my number 1.
Ah, well, he was my number 5, so...
That is true. And, yeah, I'm trying to think of any of the major characters who were missing. There's that big red guy who I always thought was weird. He was shaped like a heart.
Yeah. What's his name? What's his name?
He's like a big, there's devil in his name or something.
Oh, I don't know. I've completely blanked on his name, but he was a big furry red guy.
Yeah.
Who just had feet.
Of course, that witch. That
yeah.
Witch.
Oh yeah.
I think it was one of the Halloween episodes. But my number 1, I cheated on this because I could not decide between either of these two characters. I think we might have the same number 1, and that's of course Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny.
Ah, so that's where your cheat comes in, does it?
Yeah, I had to, because those two to me are the face of the Looney Tunes. It's like trying to choose between Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. I love both for various reasons.
Yeah.
And those those two are the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck of the Looney Tunes. When
Absolutely.
you think of Looney Tunes characters, typically you would think of Bugs Bunny because he is the main character.
Absolutely.
He's a gray rabbit who loves carrots like way too much. And Daffy is he's insane.
Daffy's
Daffy
silly.
Is just insane. He's just trying to get by.
Yeah.
And I can't do a Daffy Duck either because that's also very tough.
God, no. I will say this, though. Daffy Duck is my number one. Daffy Duck on his own is my number one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I absolutely love these two in anything they do. There was a symphony episode with Bugs Bunny where he's literally just trying to get through this orchestra piece, and he's overly frustrated.
Yes.
And it's a completely silent episode. There's, of course, Bugs Bunny also catches beef with a lot of people. A lot of people want to kill him. He's like Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, Taz, all these guys just want to kill Bugs Bunny, but he always outsmarts them in the best way.
He's a very smart guy.
I think I figured it out. Looney Tunes so much actually wasn't the gags; it was the setup to the gags.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Was great, and they talk about it, and then they actually do it.
Absolutely.
But they do it with such great timing.
Yeah.
And they execute it perfectly, and they introduce gags like, of course, the reverse psychology. You know, like I don't, you do, I don't, you do, I don't, you do, I don't. that reverse psychology gag, which is great.
Like, it's very simple humor, but it just works so well, and that is down to its simplicity. If it was any more complicated or tried to be anything different than it is, it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't have worked for decades like it has now. Going back to what I was going to say before and talk about this one particular short, which I do love, starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, and it is, I forget the name of it now. It is where Porky Pig is some sort of like talent agent, and Daffy goes into his office with like a smaller duck as sort of like some sort of protege thing. Daffy basically puts a display on for Porky Pig on why this child will be a huge star, and Porky just wants to go on his golfing holiday, and it's really funny. He does not let up. He's so fast paced, Daffy Duck. He does not give Porky a chance. Porky's trying to get out of the room. Daffy's then just immediately in front of him, pushing him back into the room and singing. Porky opens a door. Daffy's there. He goes onto the other side of the room. He opens another door. Daffy's there. He runs down the fire escape. Daffy's at the bottom of the fire escape. Daffy Duck in this, again, this goes back to my apparent love of determination in Looney Tunes characters. In this short, Daffy Duck is very, very determined to get this young duck a talent agent, or like a role in a big, make him a star, basically. I don't know why, but it's just really funny. Porky Pig is just... I do actually rather like Porky Pig in this, because he's just trying to get away, and he can't get away, and he's so pathetic and wonderful. But yeah, that is really funny. I was literally in fits of laughter watching that the other day, again.
Oh, any Daffy Duck stuff, because he's a screwball character.
Yeah.
And he's always so fast-paced. And I think I figured it out. Like, you've always picked characters that are very determined.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these Looney Tunes characters are always very determined. They need to get this, or they want to do this.
Yeah.
And they are always very, very determined. I think what I love most about, Daffy is probably the most determined, because he's literally just everywhere. And he's appeared, I think him, Porky, and Bugs have appeared the most times.
Yes, I would think so.
There's so many Daffy Duck cartoons to choose from, and with Bugs Bunny, he's so cool, and he's just like, hey man, just let it happen. He doesn't really try, and he just succeeds because he just lets stuff happen. I think that's what I love most about both of these characters. And yeah, Bugs Bunny is the face of Looney Tunes. When you see the Warner Brothers logo, for a long time, it was Bugs Bunny stepping out and eating a carrot.
Absolutely.
And on the WB logo, eating a carrot.
Yeah.
It's just a rabbit eating a carrot.
Yeah.
And they turned it into an icon on par with Mickey Mouse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The wonderfully different characters as well are Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Like you said before, Bugs is the sort of snarky guy who can outsmart people without really doing a lot. Whereas Daffy's very, all over the place and fast and often frustrated because he just wants to do things in order to, win the day. I don't know. Maybe that's my jealousy of people who can get away with not doing anything and succeeding.
I mean,
is why I like
as well.
Daffy more.
It's very weird because they're both naked.
They are.
Daffy, he has this weird white ring around his neck, which that always bugged me because I always wondered what that was.
It might. I mean, it could be a collar, but it could be just a part of his skin.
Yeah, he's the one duck with a white neck. He's a completely black duck with a
white neck.
And all that. And he's orange and black, and then Bugs is just gray. White, which are two most boring colors ever. But makes it work.
It does.
It's his personality. And
yeah,
Daffy Duck has a speech impediment, same as Sylvester.
He does.
And a lot of these characters have speech impediments as well. So the fact that we're even talking about all these guys in such a positive light, that's a really awesome thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They've made... Yeah. These characters, all of these characters really, are cultural icons, not to keep overusing the word icon or iconic, but it's absolutely true. I don't think the fact that, some of them have weird ways of talking should make them not be able to be as successful as they have been. Like, of course, we know now that obviously hasn't mattered at all, which is great.
Yeah, and even the terrible Looney Tunes stuff, like Space Jam and Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah.
Bugs and Daffy were always, generally, they were very good.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Space Jam bastardized the Looney Tunes name, but that's an entirely different subject. They're the two most recognizable characters for a reason. They've appeared the most times.
Mm-hmm.
The personalities always shine. That is why they are my number one. If not Daffy Duck, then obviously Bugs Bunny was going to be number one.
Yeah.
He's their official mascot. And then some people consider Daffy Duck the official mascot sometimes. So that's why I had to cheat, because you could change either one of those two, and I'd be okay with either one of them.
Well, I know in the Warner Brothers studios in Burbank, they have statues of both characters right outside the main entrance.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
And Bugs Bunny has his own star on the Walk of Fame.
He does. He does.
As does Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Billy, this has been a lot of fun. This has been...
I've had a great time. Oh yeah, I forgot about my favorite short ever. It's called What's Opera, Doc? And it's literally this opera with Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. And it's a Chuck Jones short, of course. Yeah. And it actually it ends with Bugs Bunny dying, which is very sad. Then it's like, and then he goes up and he's like, "Well, what did you expect? A happy ending?"
Well,
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
this has been a ton of fun. I
It,
absolutely love doing podcasts with you, Morgan.
well,
They're
I
always very
appreciate you doing it. I really do appreciate you doing it. It has been a great deal of fun. I've loved watching nonsense Looney Tunes cartoons again for the past few days. Is there anything you want to plug or anything like that before we wrap up?
um I'm gonna be a guest on a couple of podcasts. The dates are to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be on Corey Williams' Tech podcast.
Nice.
I'm gonna be on Devon's podcast. Jesus Take the Real. It's
Nice.
a great name. Anything with Nolan or yourself, I am always game and always contributing or helping any way I can.
Yes, we have a
And
lovely community, we do.
yeah, we have come up with a great community. You can find me at Odd Shape Panel as well. But for my social media, you can just find me at BBusterBill. All the B's are capitalized on Twitter. On Facebook, Billy Pollihan. It's just my name. And on Snapchat, if I ever use it.
On Snapchat.
Yeah,
Well,
Billy96, which I
oh,
always find funny.
okay, well,
Because it's the cable guy line where he goes, "Oh, Billy."
I,
And
I, I don't know that. And I don't
yeah,
use Snapchat.
yeah,
I,
and
I have an
Instagram I've
agenda
actually
against
been going
Snapchat.
on a lot. Just Blockbuster Bill, all lowercase this time. Yeah, just
Awesome.
hit me up. I'm always open to meeting new people, and I just love meeting people around the world with different cultures, ideals, and all that stuff.
Awesome. You won't find me on Snapchat because no. But you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ThePurpleDon. You can. What else can you do? You can go and check out this week's new comic book flick through the video that is on this YouTube channel. If you are, of course, listening to this show on YouTube, if you're listening on iTunes, please sub to this feed and leave a rate and review and all that nice stuff if you're feeling generous. And also check out Horror House podcast as well, that you can also find on the YouTube channel or on iTunes on its own, and do all the good stuff over there as well. Please share this episode around if you did enjoy it. Thank you for listening to this very, very fun episode 2 of the Enlightenment Hour. Until next time, guys, goodbye.